that was a nice description of what he's doing. If you know BA and if you're on his Facebook page, his description was that it was something, another item to put on his obituary. So, Mr. Press, you had something you wanted to share with us about that?
Yeah, just very quickly, we had our meeting of the Executive Board of the Baldwin Educational Assembly on Monday, so I got to hear what all of the subcommittees are up to. It's a very exciting year. It's neck and neck. This is now a three-way race for whose committee I think is doing the best work. The Budget Advisory Committee. Oh, how good.
Like that, huh?
Yeah, I know the Budget Advisory Committee's gotten some really great information back from other school districts with respect to funds, foundations, and things like that, and then the other educational trends and the school and community relations are doing really great work as well. So I don't know, try to handicap the winner of my favorite committee report this year. But, it's all looking like some really great things are happening this year with the BEA, which is very exciting. Looking forward to the end of the year report. That's it.
Good, okay. All right, anything else? Ms. Grasco, you have anything? No, that you're just going to add. Yes, you do. So grab the mic, go for it.
What Mr. Press said, is it possible for us to get like a mid-year, is it possible for us to get a mid-year report next year based on the information? I feel like waiting out to see maybe so long, or maybe it's been done. Just even a status update from the VA to see how things are going,
Well, I mean, yeah, I can get,
or maybe some from.
I can get a little more detail. I think that's what you want. Well, a lot of the stuff you talk about is supposed to be confidential, but a bit from the meeting, some of that too is supposed to be confidential depending on what they're talking about.
Okay.
I mean, the reports themselves is still sort of in process. But like, the budget advisory committee has sent out requests to other schools. I think all of the schools in Nassau County
Okay.
asking them what kind of educational foundation
They have
they have in their district. And they've gotten some good responses back. I think we got responses from 20 school districts. I thought the preview, okay.
Okay.
So there's that, and I know school community relations is working. I guess part of what they're doing is reading the Beyond the Big Stuff.
Yes.
And I think they said 5 to 7 buildings in districts or either participated in or are participating in the PTA school community relations survey.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that this committee was sort of
Charged
looking to
to
do,
do. Mhm.
was to kind of do these surveys. But what I heard is that they're going to, correct me if I'm wrong, that they were we're going to see about taking the data from those surveys and using that data.
Okay.
So,
Oh, but that's the type of
and then
information.
the education trends is talking about technology. And my understanding from the people at the executive committee meeting was tech. It wasn't always some of the information. They were charged with coming to the meeting with 2 articles on the use of technology in education. And that the articles that they came back with, and they all were able to come back with different articles, and not all of them were sort of complementary to technology. So it wasn't all like, oh, technology is the answer, and we're all going to just look at iPads and brilliant. It was a mixture of that. And so I think we need to get a lot more detail of that episode. So
Okay.
I
That sounds good. Okay. Yes.
Well, and we're also meeting tomorrow night
yes.
because we have small activities that.
Oh, look at that.
Great.
Ooh.
Thank you.
All right, sounds like we got some good stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know, and I just want to say, just to the end of the technology piece, I mean, I think it goes without saying, any technology, like even going back to the calculator, it was supposed to be a tool. It wasn't supposed to replace, things that you do. It's supposed to be a tool to help you to be more efficient. So for us to even entertain the idea of just, okay, everything is going to be done on iPads and that's just going to fix everything, that, seems kind of, so it's good that you're getting those articles, but I think going in, I think you just kind of have an understanding that that's how it should be playing out All right, so I'm gonna, before we open the floor for our, and Mr. Kukumas' last 9 minutes, I'm going to, well, we're gonna give him 9 and that's it. The doctor, I'm gonna announce some important dates, upcoming important dates. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration is tomorrow, Thursday, January 14th, 7:30 at the high school. Schools are closed on Monday for Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. The BCA has a meeting coming up on Thursday, January 21st, 7:30 at the high school. We have National History Day, Monday, January 25th, 7 p.m. at the middle school. Our Board of Education Community Input Meeting and PTA Reflections Reception will be taking place on Wednesday, 27th, 8 p.m. middle school. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Poster Contest Reception, Thursday, January 28th, 3:45 at the District Office Gymnasium. We have PTA, PTSA Founders Day at the middle school and high school, Tuesday, February 2nd, 7 p.m. And as Dr. Tammy announced earlier in her comments, we will be beginning our budget season. So our first of several meetings for the budget work session season starts Wednesday, February 3rd, 8 p.m. at the district office. Okay. Bless you. The only thing that doesn't apply this time is that we're not timed. But I ask that you're considerate of other people in the room who may have other comments or things that they would like to bring to the board. So, come on up.
Tricia Wilder, 655 St. Luke's Place. Many of you know that I'm a resident in the district, but I also happen to be a teacher here at Plaza. And when I walked into the room tonight, I saw some of my former students sitting here, and I was curious as to why they were here. And they told me that there was a possibility that the drama production was not going to happen at the high school, as well as the student production. I met these 4 students when they were 5 years old. 3 of them were in my kindergarten class. And I watched them succeed and do very well in kindergarten. And then I had the opportunity to work with them when I directed the school play at Plaza. And I watched the theater bug bite each one of them, in addition to many other children. And I can't tell you what it was like to watch them when this theater bug bit them. Some of them are actresses, some of them work behind the scenes on the stage crew, and I'm fortunate enough that they have always asked me to attend all of their shows that they were in at the middle school and the high school, and I have watched them from their first show in 3rd grade under my direction all the way up until 2 of them are seniors. And if that is being considered that you're going to take that away from them, I really think you need to reconsider it. This is going to be the career choice and career path of several of them. And we give the opportunity for the students who want to go into the medical field, the opportunity in the medical academy. And I think that we need to consider that these students want to pursue their career, and this is just one more opportunity or 2 more opportunities for them to do that. And I just wanted you to see the 4 faces, because when you look at children, there's definitely another way that you think about it when you're going to make a decision like that. And I really think it's important, and they learn so much from it, and I hope that you consider it. So, thank you.
Yeah. Something?
Yeah, I don't know where the rumor is coming from, so we'll take care of it tomorrow.
just want to say that we'd have plenty of money for band and drama and everything else. Mr. Scannell and Mr. Cullen hadn't screwed up transportation and lost us millions of dollars. And that's what I'm addressing. The fiscal incompetence in the school district, and they come begging for programs that are being cut, and it's hurting the students, it's hurting the programs, because you're not paying attention. Now, you just hired an attorney for $250 an hour. Is this an open-ended contract, or is there a cap? What do you expect the maximum is going to be? Do you have any idea? 2 years ago, you were going to sell, you put up Schubert, Milburn, and Hastings up for sale. The community asked you to take the signs down. Are any of those buildings still up for sale?
No.
Okay. There's an expression, if you fail to learn history, you're doomed to repeat it. I made a presentation to the history teacher that Mr. Scannell hired from Uniondale about our language department. You're wasting millions of dollars there. And that would
I'm
be,
sorry, our history teacher? Is he talking about? Who are you talking about?
you don't want me to mention names on the board. That was your rule.
But I'm just saying, she's not a history.
Yeah, the history teacher from Uniondale that Mr. Scannell hired. Okay? See, I'm sure you can figure it out.
Oh, no,
He went all the way to Uniondale to get us an administrator. Okay. You've got language programs last year that I told you about with 9 students, 10 students, 10 students, 12 students. Now, and you have other classes with 25 and 30. So a teacher can handle 25 and 30, but the teachers aren't being productive. It's not their fault. It's the administration's fault because they're only giving them 10 students. Now, if the union made you put only 8 students in a classroom, that would be called feather bedding. But the union doesn't do it. It's your own administration that's screwing up.
Mr.
There
Can
should-
I just go back to that? Those small classes with the language, those are AP courses. And so,
It can be done. It can be done better. Well, first of all, the mandate for New York State is 2 credits. They don't mandate AP. You're always complaining about the New York mandates. That's what stretches it. It's always New York's fault with their mandates. But you take their mandates, which is 2 credits, and you put it on steroids. If you're voluntarily doing this, and you're doing it in small in languages, first of all, and they don't mandate you to teach 4 languages: Latin, Italian, French, and Spanish. They only say a language. And half the states in this country don't even mandate a language in their schools. Okay?
I don't understand
So
I don't understand something. 2 minutes ago, you just said that we weren't paying attention, that we had to cut programs for students. Now you stand before me.
no, I'm telling you to do it efficiently, not to cut it, to do it efficiently.
Well, okay, so efficiently in what regard? You just said,
I explained to you last year, and I'll explain to you again. First of all, you need to administer the schools more efficiently. You can't put 10 students in a classroom. These teachers cost us salaries of $110,000, $120,000 for their 9 months' work. You add to that $40,000 in benefits. That's $160,000. Now you put 8 students in that classroom when a teacher should be able to teach 25 students. A lot of our teachers do, especially on the elementary level, okay? And some in the language department. We've got classes with 26, 27, 30, okay? So when you put 8 students in a classroom, you're feather bedding because it takes 3 teachers to do the job of 1. And that's very inefficient. You wouldn't have any, factory or institution doing that kind of malfeasance on their in production. But schools, you don't care. It's like you've got endless amount of money, and then you complain about New York State not providing you money, and you have to raise taxes. When the root cause is your own incompetence in managing the classrooms. Now, I told you, all you need to do is to go to an all-Spanish curriculum. There's no reason just to teach, there's no reason to teach 4 Romance languages. There are 1,000 languages, and then you can be more efficient. and you wouldn't end up with 8 students a class. You can do it. You choose not to do it. It would save you millions, and all you're doing is protecting teachers' jobs. 80% of our salary, or 80% of our budget is salaries and benefits. That's where all the money goes. It goes into pensions, and as you raise the salaries, the pensions become higher, and it puts an exorbitant burden on our budget. And all it does is hurt the students. It hurts the program with these cuts you're making. It hurts transportation, and all for the benefit of the teachers and the administrators. Okay. So that's the feather bedding, and that's the lesson that our history teachers didn't learn, and it's doomed to repeat.
I am going to respectfully ask you to be very careful of the rhetoric that you're using. So even if you're not naming somebody by name, you're insulting people, and I am asking you to stop doing that. I am asking you respectfully to stop insulting people at this table, whether you're calling them administrators, whether you're referring to what their teaching certifications are. You are being given the opportunity to share your comments, but I am asking you respectfully to be respectful of other people, Mr. Kugelmark. Thank you.
Okay. Now, we've lost millions of dollars in transportation because what we used to do with one fleet and our own fleet, you got rid of the fleet, the administrator didn't want to do the work of managing a fleet, and you ended up with 2 fleets going separately, going to that one fleet used to take care of the high school and the middle school, and now we have 2 fleets because you changed the bell schedule, and our administrators, Mr. Skinnell and Mr. Cullen, didn't realize that that would screw everything up, men with 50 years of experience, and then
And we're no longer here.
and that are no longer here, that's
And we-
right.
and we
And we're still
addressed
living
it,
with their legacy,
so-
and they didn't have the decency to even tell the new administrator that they screwed things up. They just covered it all up, and you had to have a board member, Mr. Eric Harrison, discover it. Okay, what are we doing about transportation? You know, you gave us a whole laundry list, and you had to put off the decisions to this year. What are we doing about the transportation to straighten out the cost? Because that money that's being overspent in transportation, the $5 million, which is now $6.7 million, is not money that we can have for the drama club and the band and everything else that you want to do. What are we doing about it?
Well, I can tell you what we did last year. Last year, we did put in efficiencies that ultimately, over the course of the year, the efficiencies became $500,000 worth of savings. Was there a $500,000 worth of savings overall in that code? No, there was not, but I've explained this before.
This year.
And that's because in this particular case, there were new admits into our school district that were special education students who required the busing, and that busing ate away at some of the savings.
Right, you explained that to me, but I'm asking about this
You're
year.
talking about going
We had that
next
meeting
year?
and you had like a list of like 5 or 6
Are you
options.
talking about next year?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about for next year, right.
Um,
For
so-
fiscal year 2017.
Right, so one of the things that we did a couple of meetings ago, we did approve a contract going forward, and that is at a CPI or 0, whichever is less, % increase. So we know that the cost of the busing that is currently in place is not going to go up. So we did renew that contract. We are continually looking for efficiencies.
The bell schedule. Are you going to change back the bell schedule so we can do it with one fleet?
We are doing that now. We did make that change. We are doing that now. So the buses are, you're talking about the middle school and high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are doing that now.
Well, we had that meeting last year and you said, I didn't want to make a
Oh, you're
decision.
talking about the high school becoming earlier. That's
Right, we had that laundry list of decisions and you
Right.
said you didn't want to do it for this year,
Right,
but this year you're going to make a decision for next year. So
Correct.
where do you stand on that?
right. So we have looked at that. We're doing some more work with the possibility of some additional savings. We're not done with that yet, but there is an additional report coming to the board about that.
So when are we going to see?
Well, we're looking at that for budget season, so we're not
Okay.
quite there yet.
Okay. Another problem is the accrual problem. And what I'm talking about is all the expenses that you have to account for that are going to be paid for in the future. Now, for instance, one of the benefits of our teachers administrators is Medicare Part B. After they graduate summa cum money with their large pensions, they get to have their Medicare Part B paid for when they go on Medicare, at age 65. And that's currently costing us $2.5 million a year for teachers who live, who knows where, Florida or Arizona, or wherever they move to. And that's a ridiculous benefit. Nobody gives that benefit. Oh, you have to be a public employee to get that. There used to be a time where, now they have their cake and they eat it too. They have big salaries, they got short work years, they got big pensions, and now they got Medicare Part B. So that's $2.5 million, and it's a pay-as-you-go. And you've got a lot of old teachers that are going to be retiring soon. You got a bubble of them, and that $2.5 million is not going to stay stable. It's going to go up high. You got to do something. You got to push back to the teachers and the Teachers Association. And the way you push back, and you're always like, oh, we got a signed contract, we gave them a small raise, it's like peace in our time. No. You've got 80% of our budget is salaries and benefits. Heads have got to roll. That's the only way they're going to understand it. Even in companies like GE and IBM, every year they're always making cuts. They're making Time Warner. They might make $4 billion, $6 billion. They're always cutting. General Electric just cut. This is how good businesses run. We understand that schools and governments are terribly run businesses, and that's what you got to do to tighten up your fiscal operation, because you just take more money for less students. We're $125 million for 4,700 students. That'll educate anywhere in the country 10,000 students. It used to educate 5,300 students in Baldwin at $100 million, and this is just how you operate. It's just like you're blaming someone else, but it's your screw-ups. Okay. So I'm telling you, you got to push back, and the way to push back is you've got to attack the language department. We don't need all these extra languages. We just need to meet the New York mandate. And if students want to take additional courses, okay, as long as there are 25 plus students in the class. Let's use our teachers productively. We can't afford the feather bedding when they're costing us $160,000. Instead of one teacher at $160,000, you're using 3 teachers. And we just can't afford that. We need it for band, and we need it for other programs, and for drama club and all that other stuff, which we're getting hurt. And as taxpayers, we're getting hurt and so forth. Okay. The other accrual, which costs us a lot of money, is sick days. Now, Lindenhurst, you know where Lindenhurst is. It's just on the other side of Massapequa there. They just passed a bond because 3 of their public servants got $1,500,000 on retirement just from sick days and benefits. The kind of stuff that our 500, 600 teachers are accumulating every year. You have to push back on that. I mean, it's enough they have a 9-month work year, and on top of that, you're giving them an additional 3 weeks off a year. So it's down really contractually to 8 months a year work for 110, 120 plus another $40,000 benefit. You have to push back. You can push back. All you have to do, and this refers to the budget, you cannot raise the budget. You must hold the budget on the payrolls, and then I can show you ways where you can cut your expenses, but it's going to involve cutting payroll. You can turn teachers into teachers' assistants, for instance. Now, you want to give these students all this college experience. Hold it. You want to give them the college experience. You've got your collaboratorium and so forth with college students. We all went to college where you had a big class, 300 students with proctors around you, okay? 1 teacher and hundreds of students. You could do that with the social studies department. Give them the experience. Get the history department. Give them the college experience and turn your teachers into assistant teachers. And that you want to, instead of these AP courses, these small AP courses, give them a big college course.
Okay.
Get them ready for college. You can do that. It can be done well and productively. It'll save us a lot of money, and then you'll have as much money as you want for everything, and you won't have to try to raise taxes.
Okay, thank you. I have someone behind you. And, excuse me, before Ms. Brackman comes to the mic, she will be the last person to speak this evening.
Hi, Patrice Racklin, 970 Marcel Road. I just wanted to kind of enlighten the board. You probably know about it, but there's a great program which I was not aware of, and I thought I knew about everything. My daughter, who is a freshman at Binghamton this year, was invited to come back during break to sit on a panel of new freshmen to talk to the seniors. And I have to tell you, she was very honored to be asked, and it was a great experience for her, and it's something I think that is so indicative of Baldwin. She was able to field questions from expectant graduates, and they were a panel of about 18, and we actually spoke about it tonight, how wonderful the experience was, and that it really gave a bird's eye view, kid to kid. And I think that's something that is very unique to Baldwin, and I just wanted to say it was wonderful for her, and I'm sure it was wonderful for those seniors, and I thank you for giving her that opportunity and for giving her the kind of education through APs and language and art and sports and all the great things that we have here, because that enabled her to get into a very good university, and she came home with a 3.8 for her first semester. So thank you.
Okay. So, at this time, I'm going, Mr. Grossman, yes, I was going to ask for a motion to adjourn. Sokol? Second. Oh, Mr. Price moved, and seconded by Mrs. O'Hagan. All those in favor? Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Have a good evening. Get home safely.